Peace, peace, peace. Welcome to the Scrap and Roll MMA podcast. I'm your host, Sky. We got your host, CJ, Jays, and Damien is back in the building. The band is back. Okay? We're all here, and let's go ahead and get into it. Damien, how was your wedding, your honeymoon, all that jazz?
Oh man, you were there. You know the wedding was lit.
It
Oh,
was.
it was nice.
Hey, your boy
It
was
was very
fly.
beautiful.
Your
Hey,
boy
I was
was
in there.
fly.
Yeah, everybody said it too. As soon as they saw me, they were like, "Ooh!" But you know, but yeah, the wedding, the honeymoon, everything was textbook. It was picture perfect. You know, like a fairy tale. You feel me? So, yeah, all right. So let me tell you this: while I'm dancing on the dance floor, enjoying my wedding, mind you, I deleted social media. I deleted YouTube. I deleted everything because I did not want to get spoiled for this car at all. And I took every precaution. Well, I can't say every precaution because one of my homies came up while I'm dancing on the dance floor. He said, "Hey, did you see how Israel won?" Bruh,
Oh.
are you kidding me? I was pissed off. He said, "Oh, I ruined your night, huh?" I said,
Wow.
"Bruh, are you kidding me?" So I snapped out of it real quick. I said, "I can't let it affect me, whatever, whatever." And he made a good point. He said, "You don't know how he won." I said, "All right, at least I don't know that. So I still got something to look forward to when I watch it." And I was watching the podcast too, and I remember one of y'all said that, or some of y'all said that Israel Adesanya is not the middleweight GOAT, and I gotta disagree with you because
Let's go.
this
Them
man
two.
been
Them two.
beating
Not me.
everybody, bruh. Everybody he beat. And in glorious fashion too. Like, come on, bruh. Don't be throwing salt on the Nigerian Israel Adesanya, bruh. Come on. That's
Hey.
my boy right there. Hey,
With
that's
the
one of the
correct
GOATs.
pronunciation.
Yeah, that's one of the GOATs for sure, for sure. So
Hey,
I mean, inside of
do
the
me
octagon, outside of the octagon, nah, bro. He is. Hey, the UFC got one. The UFC got a
hey
superstar on
yo,
their
do me a favor, CJ, and handle my lightweight.
hands.
Is he the GOAT right now? Nah. The question was, is he on his way to be the GOAT? Possibly. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. But shout out to it's 1A, 1B. He's damn close to doing it. But he's not there just yet. But guess what? He's one in this motherfucking household. We style bendered up. So hey, shout out to the God. Let's go. Yes, sir. I think Alex is still asleep right now, man.
That
Hey, your
man
boy said I'm
sleeping.
going to 205. I'm out of here.
Oh, I've been trolling. I've been trolling in my lives. I said, "Hey, man, yeah, Izzy made his ass go up. Get him up out of here."
Hey,
He said,
3-1
I'm
in
done
this
with this
bitch.
one.
Hey, all it takes is that one get back. All you need is that one
Um,
get back.
Hey, and I'm taking
hey,
my ball and I'm going
Go
home.
Stop
home.
it.
hey,
Go home.
hey,
Stop
hey,
it.
Israel Adesanya
Dick
wasn't sleeping.
riding.
Israel
What Sky
Adesanya
said
wasn't
last
This
week?
sleeping.
time.
Piero was snoring. He had a
He
dream. He
was.
woke up and said, "When's the fight? I'm ready to fight."
Yeah.
That man was out cold.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the
Izzy
GOAT
was
to me.
out
I don't
cold
care.
too.
I don't care what no one say
That was
because
kickboxing.
that was that's old.
It don't
I'm
matter.
talking about I'm
Still,
talking about currently. This man is a GOAT. I don't want to hear it. This man is a GOAT. You know why? MMA has evolved so much to the point right now where everybody is so well rounded. And to be on top like that, doing what he's doing, the way that he's doing it, come on. Come on. That
Hey.
see,
does
man
anyone
is the GOAT.
see, Damien, with that, I do kind of agree with you. I went back and I looked at Anderson's, competition, and I'm
Uh-oh.
running through it, and I'm like, and I hate playing this shit because we don't fucking know because he can't go back and fight those people. But
Right.
I was like, he probably could have beat him. He probably would have beat him. He probably would have beat
Mm-hmm.
him. He probably would have beat this guy. He probably would have washed this guy out. So, sometimes the future and the past don't link up. Hey, we have a new GOAT in this era. So that's fine.
In this era, yeah. Yeah. Oh man, it was great though. Even though I got spoiled on it, I still watched it and still was on the edge of my seat the whole time, cheering, clapping my hands, standing up, screaming. Yeah, it was dope. It was dope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that whole pay-per-view main card was dope, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought so too. One thing I thought was really dope, like, even though they had messed up with your audio when you were doing your vows, his wife mentions that she in her vows that she's gonna watch promise to watch the UFC fights with him.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
because she already knows.
that's real love, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Real love. I'm searching for real love. Someone in my heart.
uh-oh.
You
We don't
want it?
even have a singing career in here. But yeah, UFC 287 is behind us. We'll talk about
Yeah.
later on, what's up for Izzy and everybody else that's on that card. And even Gilbert. Make sure that we bring up Gilbert again, because Gilbert's been on Twitter going crazy recently. But if y'all did not know, and if y'all haven't been paying attention, at least to last week, choo choo, blessed era, baby, let's go. Surprisingly, Jace was on the right side of history this time. Let's give a hand clap for him. We didn't know which way he was gonna go, because he was teetering the line and saying a lot of stuff. We didn't know if he was gonna go with your boy Max, but he did. He got on the train right before we took off, and Max Holloway got it done. How did y'all feel about the fight card? Like, before we get to like the Holloway fight, like, how did you guys feel about the card in all? Like, what would you grade it?
Banger, bro. Bang her, bro.
CJ?
It was an amazing card to me. Like, if I had to grade it, I'd give it a good 8, very solid 8. Hella exciting moments. We had 2 retirements. We had knockouts. Max did his thing, so I'm happy with the card, and it was fucking free, so I'll take it.
Hey. Did you get a chance to watch it, Damien, or were you traveling?
I was traveling, but I did watch the at least the main card, which
Mm-hmm.
I thought was all right. Like I liked it. I liked it. It was good. It was good. I wouldn't say it was like one of the best that I've seen in a while, but it was cool. I liked it.
I don't know. I think, and this might be the recency bias, I think this might be the best card I've seen all year, top to bottom.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like, if you go back and you watch the prelims, like, leading up to it,
yeah. I
it
didn't
had,
watch any of those.
yeah, the momentum was going. Now, the first fight of the night, we got to talk about the first fight of the night, because that was just wild. Jocelyn Edwards versus Lucy Pudilova, sorry,
Pudilova.
was it was the worst decision in MMA history. It has to be. It just
Oh
has to
yeah.
be. Jocelyn Edwards gets held down for 7.5 minutes. Like, the first round, like, she's controlled the first 2 rounds. Maybe you give her the third round. For whatever reason, they give it to Jocelyn, and the crowd goes wild. The commentary goes wild. DC Bisping, Brendan Fitzgerald are all like, what? How is that possible? When you guys were watching it, I know Jace and CJ were both watching it. Like, what were y'all thinking?
I was like, oh, here we go with this bullshit. I'm like, this is how we gonna start the night. I looked over to my girl. We were like, what the fuck? Like, when I think we get so conditioned to seeing the takedowns and be like, that's, you won the fight with that one. So I looked up and they called her name. I said, no, that can't be right. They must have had the names fucked up somehow. But that was wild. That was wild.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. For me, in all honesty, I was kind of watching it, kind of like watching my phone, because it was literally just dry humping 1-on-1. And I'm just like, okay, well, and then every time my eyes came up, it was the same thing, dry humping 101. So when they announced it, I thought it was the definition of a foregone conclusion, only to be mystified on the actual judgment. Now, I think all 3 of those judges should be brought in front of the board and explain to me like a 4-year-old, explain to me like a motherfucking 4-year-old how they won this fight. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Not nobody else. Straight to you. Explain to Jace, y'all. Because what the fuck? Yeah, I get you, bro.
It was pretty rough. To score that for Jocelyn in any way, shape, or form. I know people were like, "Oh, but she outstruck her." But then when you watch the fight and you're being controlled for 7.5 minutes, it's completely different. One thing, we're not gonna get into it today, because it's too big of a topic. But what I will, I do want to ask Damien and Jace if they've heard this narrative, because I honestly did not hear it until Saturday when I posted on TikTok about this. And I just posted, a video that said, is this the worst decision in MMA history or UFC history, whichever one? And people started commenting, oh, I wonder why. And I'm thinking maybe because they thought Jocelyn was gay. Like, we know that the UFC fan base is extremely homophobic. And so I'm thinking that. But then I started seeing comments trickle in about, and they were saying every time there's a close decision, which I don't consider this fight close, but every time there's a close decision, it always goes to the black fighter. Have you guys heard this?
I ain't heard that. I ain't never heard that.
Have you heard
If
this?
anything, I felt like it might be the opposite. For real. For real. So.
The only thing that goes more to black people than most is prison sentences.
Facts. That's an actual fact. Yeah, so we're not gonna dive too deep into it, but like the racism that started popping off and the craziness that started popping off in them comments, the post is still up. So if you guys find your way on Scrap and Roll's TikTok, go check it out. Was wild to me. It was absolutely crazy. But we're not gonna get into that today because it'll be another hour and a half episode.
That's a whole topic in itself.
Yeah. But just quickly going to the cards so we can get to the good to the crazy stuff. Denise Gomez, shout out to her with the power hands. That's straw weight. Knock somebody out in straw weight. So that's always exciting. Jillian Robertson, shout out to her.
Banger, bro.
And I posted a video of that with Jillian, like the whole time, like that she was on top of Rodriguez, like her team is screaming, like, stop putting your hands up, stop putting your hands up. And then you got DC's over there. DC's like, man, she keeps putting her hand up. She's gonna hit her with an arm bar. As soon as he said arm bar, boom, she transitioned so fucking fast into that arm bar. It was beautiful. Robertson said she didn't tap. It's kind of debatable. Like, I could understand. Like, okay, when you tap, is it 1, 2, 3? Is it just one time or what?
She tapped. It was 100%. It was a quick tap. Then when Jillian went to reposition, she alleviated some of the pain, right? But when they zoomed in on it and they saw she was quick, that's a tap. One time is a tap. Like, when you fucking tap, it's like slapping that ass, right? You don't accidentally slap that ass. You know what I'm saying? Think of that movie with Ben Stiller and Jennifer Aniston, where he's like, oh, did I tap your butt? Like, just slap your ass? Like, no, I didn't. Like, nah, you slapped that ass. It's done.
Well, I'll be fair. Like, I've rode a couple of times where I've been in a compromised position where I think about tapping, so I'll hit them one time. I feel like if it's at least 2 times, that's a tap, no matter what. No matter what, at least 2. Pop, like you were saying, yeah, that's a tap.
Just so we can be clear, it's called tap out, not tap, singular, not plural. It's a tap out, because you don't want the other side of that coin, people. You know what I'm saying? Where someone pop your shit because you didn't you didn't tap 5 times, so someone keep on cranking that bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Tony Ferguson.
Go.
Real.
Hey, Tony didn't tap to that arm bar
Tony never.
with Charles Oliveira.
The 2 people who I can't believe never tapped was Tony Ferguson, as well. It was your boy Hardy
and Muhammad Mokaev with the leg lock.
The leg lock.
A couple months ago.
The leg lock busted that shit too. Had to get surgery and everything.
Hey, but it was a partial tear, so your boy's only gonna be out for 6 to 8 weeks. He's trying to make it on that London card. That boy crazy. That boy is crazy.
That's crazy.
I think Chael Sonnen would be proud of Rodriguez. Chael swears he didn't tap against Anderson. He did the same thing. He popped up and was like, "What? What? I didn't tap." I thought it was funny that the judge said that it was a verbal submission. Tap. She didn't say shit. I was like, "Oh, y'all being funny." Keith Peterson, yeah, he had a night that night.
So much for no nonsense.
Right. Zach Cummins versus Ed Herman. Double retirement.
Banger.
I texted you guys and I was like, who cut the onions? I could not help myself. At first I was fine. Then when the little girl came and jumped in her dad's arm and I was like, oh God, this is emotional. Then Ed Herman starts ugly crying. I'm like, oh, what is happening? Like, Zach got the biggest pop of the night, like maybe just because he was the hometown guy. So he got a little bit more pop than Max did. But that was a banger of a fight. Like Ed Herman's got a chin on him. He was taking some damage. There's one moment in the second round where he like gets hit and he like knocks on his chin like, "Hey, it's made of steel." And then he gets dropped right afterwards. It's hilarious. Check it out in the second round. Shout out to Brandon. Don't put me on a fucking prelim again, Royval.
On a real quick side note before we go past this, I just want to give a quick shout out to Ed Herman for just being a fucking warrior. You know, since 2006, I had it on the button last time.
Yep.
And then Zach, the best fucking porn name in the game. Zach Cummings.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's been in the UFC for a long time, Ed Herman. But Brandon Royval knocking out Nicolau. We didn't see that coming. We didn't see that coming.
My knockout of the year so far.
My knockout is still the Bonfim brother that knocked out Terrence McKinney. That flying knee in Brazil. It's still living rent free in my head. Just the way that Terrence fell.
Yeah, and he had a lot of hype behind him at the time too.
Yeah, but this was spectacular. It was right on the button, followed up with a right hand. Like at the same time, Brandon did his thing. Bill Algeo versus TJ Brown. That was a banger. That fight was absolutely insane. I thought TJ was gonna get it done, and then next thing you know, it was over.
Willy lump lump.
Yeah. Facts. Clay Guida. I thought Pedro looked good, you know, coming back. But let's not even play around. Edson Barbosa. Turning back the hands of time. Does Edson Barbosa have the best physique in like the lower weight classes?
My man
he was ripped.
He has the best physique.
Body fat.
Facts. The best physique since the Ream and the horse meat.
Yeah. Your boy's looking suspicious. But yeah, and shout out to J. Will Chillerman on Instagram. He does like a whole bunch of breakdowns. He also did that Izzy breakdown that Jay still thinks was a lucky shot.
It was.
But he broke down why Edson. First of all, I know exactly, Damien. Like it's wild over here. It's been wild. And you know what,
let
Jay?
him play devil's advocate. I swear to God,
that's not devil's advocate.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
facts.
No, exactly. Like I really think he's putting on for like the show. I think he's doing this just for the pod because, like, it's just wild. But
that's not true.
He broke down Billy Q getting knocked out, and it was because 2 times prior to him getting knocked out, Billy Q was going for the overhand right and then jumping down into trying to do a takedown or trying to shoot, right? Mm-hmm. So the third time that he do it, third time was a charm. He threw it, bam, went to sleep. It was over. I had no idea what happened. I was like, wait a minute, why'd he drop? Like it's over?
I saw it. And I felt like I saw it coming too because this man did do it twice in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Pause.
And when I see stuff like that, I say, you better watch out for that knee because they tell you that in MMA, in any aspect of combat sports, they say never do the same thing twice. That's why Israel Adesanya is so good because he'll mix it up. He'll go to the head, then to the body, then back to the head. You know what I mean? He always has you guessing. And every time he threw that overhand right, you knew he was about to shoot for the leg. I saw it coming. So I wasn't even surprised at the knee to the head. I really wasn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad that he did it.
Yeah, good for Edson. Now he's back in the top 15. Looks like they have him ranked. Where'd my rankings go?
You should have never left. I've always been on the Edson Barbosa train. Always.
14 now.
Oh, he just moved up 1?
Yeah.
Disrespectful.
Yeah. So, Edson is back, but you know why we're here. Blessed era, baby. Let's go. Max Bless Holloway against Arnold Allen. If you haven't already checked it out, the video that I made if you guys haven't, check out the video I made on Max Holloway, that the UFC was trying to kill him off. They was hoping and wishing and praying that Arnold Allen would get him out of there so that they could push Allen to the thing and, continue talking about Max was washed. And from the very first exchange, I was like, oh, the boy's back. The boy's back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He looked good. What do you guys think?
What you think, Jace? Cool. Oh, go ahead, Damien.
Hold on.
Since you've been on vacation.
I gotta say, first things first, hey, shout out to Arnold Allen. This man is a dog. And I mean, my boy Max was catching him clean with clean shots, and he was eating them and still pushing forward. And this man had heart. Even in his corner talking to his coaches, you could tell like this man was out for the win, even though he knew he was down bad, right? And then on the other hand, shout out to Max Holloway because Arnold Allen was putting it on him in some pieces of that fight, landing clean shots, the cleanest textbook shots you can land on someone. And we know Arnold Allen got power, and Max just walked through them shits like they was nothing. He said, "Oh, I was expecting you to hit me with some shit like that. Like I'm good."
Master,
I'm still here.
Master, may I have another?
Exactly, bro. Oh, this fight had me on the edge of my seat the whole fight too, because they was going at it the whole fight, and people were talking about, oh, Max Holloway didn't look the same. He was on the back foot, yada yada yada. We saw what happened last time he was on the back foot, but nah, Max Holloway's Max Holloway, and he showed that he's still the number one contender for a reason. And I feel like he deserves another title shot, honestly. And I know people gonna think that's ridiculous, but this is one of those aspects of fighting where it's like, nah, it really makes sense. Like this man is a dog. This man been at the top for so long for a fucking reason. So big shout out to Max Holloway, man. That's the Bless Express right there. Choo choo.
Yes.
One thing I want to
If I was a
say,
betting man, I would never bet against Max Holloway.
I wouldn't have either. But real quick before I go to Jason, CJ, one thing that I did want to say about the back foot comments, because Max was on live today gaming, because that's what he does is game, and he was on there popping big shit. Like at first he was like, "Hey, where the haters at?" He's like, "Where the people that was coming into my live telling me to stop gaming, that I need to be training, stop gaming, you washed up." He was like, "Where are y'all at?" Because there was none of them in that chat to be talked about. And secondly, he was like, the reason why he was on his back foot and he wasn't doing his typical pressuring and moving forward was because he was like, that was a point in their camp, was to take more of a counter approach to hit and not get hit, and because he knew that he could be faster without having to push Arnold on and allow Arnold to come to him. He was like, because everybody kept saying he looked slow, he looked this and he looked that. So they really worked that into their camp to be more patient in that way. And he still ended up out striking him double the amount that Arnold. So Arnold landed 80, Max Holloway landed 149. And outstruck him in every single round, including the second round and the fifth round when Arnold was coming out like a fucking cannon. But yeah, I'll let Jason and him get into it before. I just want to make sure that y'all knew that before y'all start talking crazy.
That was a dope fight. I want to rewatch that actually.
Yeah.
That was fun.
What you got, Jace? How you feel?
I keep it short and sweet. I mean, there was a reason why I had so much debate and trepidation trying to pick a winner, because really the real winner of this fight were the fans. They both did their thing. Holloway took that beating like a champ. Max put it on him like a champ, took some shots like a champ. It was an actual good back and forth brawl. I enjoyed it. I thought the fight was probably a little bit closer than most. I would not have hated if it was 3-2 to Allen, though I'm glad it was 3-2 to Max. Yeah, I mean, again, am I advocating for it? No, but if it was 3-2, I wouldn't have been in my feelings, because I did think it was an extremely close and competitive fight. No one, blew the other one out of the water. It wasn't Max against Cater again. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, overall, I thought it was a great scrap. Max did his thing. And then real quick, I mean, I don't necessarily blame the UFC for wanting Allen to get it done with Max for the simple fact of one, like, they need new blood at the top. I don't know how many people besides in this chat.
Don't put him in there with a shark.
Besides this
Send him
chat.
to a pussy.
Send me where?
Excuse me, say what?
You say what? You say what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how many people are clamoring to see Max against Volk 4, if from just a marketing standpoint. You know what I'm saying? So I feel them in that, not to mention, the UK market's been very hot for them right now. It's always great for parity and to get new blood in there. But again, that being said, to be the best, you got to beat the best, and the best is blessed. Choo choo.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Arnold Allen got knocked down in round 5, right?
Yeah.
Ain't no way they was gonna swing Arnold Allen's way.
That's one thing
but
that's wild
bullshit.
to me. No, look at the stats.
Ain't no way.
How do you get
Ain't no way.
outstruck in every single fucking round, and you're telling me that it's close? You're telling me that you thought Arnold Allen won. Like this, like that he could have possibly won. Like this is the insanity that I'm talking about. I think that when we're watching high level striking, shout out to Pedro Munoz and Chris Gutierrez, who were in their high level striking, and even this Max Holloway and Arnold Allen fight, that because it's not power shots taking place, people aren't realizing what's really happening for the full fight. Like the average fight fan who just really loves fights but doesn't know like the technical sides of it, you're missing out on a lot of what's happening. And I think that that's what DC kept trying to say throughout the whole thing, is that like y'all didn't realize that Max Holloway was winning this fight, which is crazy to me. Like I don't know how you're watching this fight thinking, oh yeah, Arnold is potentially winning. How?
Easy. My eyes. It's not always about who outstrikes anyone, right? Because Max, I'm 99% sure outstruck Dustin Poirier, but we do believe that Dustin won that fight, correct?
However, it was by
No,
two.
No.
It was by two strikes. It wasn't like
wait a second.
No.
Wait a second.
No.
I'm asking you a question. Do you think Max
because
beat
you're not listening
Dustin?
to what
it's
I'm
a yes or
saying.
no.
You're not
But it's a
listening to
yes
what
or no
I'm
question. It's a yes
he
or no
outstruck
question.
him by 2. This is completely different.
That Max won that fight? Is what I'm asking.
No, I've already said no.
Okay. You can continue.
You're not going to win by outstriking somebody by 2 strikes. In the first round, I'm looking at total strikes. I'm not looking at significant. And if I look at significant, he outstruck him in significant strikes and he outstruck him in total strikes. Total strikes, 27-11 in round number 1. Round number 2, 25-19. Round number 3, 33-14. Round number 4, which some people try to say went to Arnold,
100%.
29-12. 29-12, more than double. What are we looking at? The 5th round, 35-24.
Okay, but then y'all.
How is it that if you hit me with 1 shot and I pop you with 4, what are we talking about?
You also have to put in the equation the quality of strikes, right? That
Even
also is there. That also the thing.
Strike is right.
Pardon?
That's what a significant strike is. Yep. But the fact that he didn't even get dropped or anything, like that's the way that these are scored, right? If he got hit with, 10 shots, Max Holloway threw 50, landed 50, he only got hit by 10, but one of those 10 knocked him to the ground, okay, maybe.
According to the UFC, he didn't get knocked down.
We're not about
Which
to do
is
that,
bullshit.
it's clear as hell.
Yeah.
Because they didn't count Max for the 2 knockdowns where he knocked down Volkanovski either.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm glad Max won. I think that Sky, you are how do I say this? Being Homer Simpson to say that fight wasn't close.
It wasn't.
Agree to disagree.
If it was close, how? In what way? What way did Arnold make it close? He wasn't close in the striking. In total, 149-80. So what was it close? He didn't clinch with him. He didn't take him down. He didn't out-grapple him. How? Where was the dominance?
It didn't feel to me watching the fight, and please, Damien CJ, chime in.
Please.
Did it feel like really that Max was just styling the fuck on him?
Well,
no, I never said that he was.
Wait, I was asking Damien CJ.
So I'm gonna come in real quick. I want to give a big shout out to AA Arnold Allen. I'm not a fan of this guy, but I'm happy that he did well. He looked good. He proved that he should be in the octagon with a caliber of Max Holloway. He fought hard. He fought valiantly. He did great. But the thing I noticed about Max, and what you're just talking about earlier, Sky and Damon, you guys were 100% correct. When I was seeing the fight, I was like, this is a little bit of a different game plan from Max, which I enjoyed. He wasn't pressing on the gas all the time. He took his time. He took his pace, which I enjoyed a lot. The thing also is that he worked a lot of his body kicks, which were amazing. I've never seen Max kick as much as he did this fight.
They were beautiful.
And another thing I don't think people are realizing is that when AA was coming in ready to strike, Max was hitting him with the oblique kicks to the knee. He was like slowing his ass up the whole time. It stopped him right in his spot. He will stop right to the knees, slowed his ass down all the way. So it was a great technical fight. Like I said, it was either 4-1, like Sky was saying, like you were saying, there was no grappling, there was no takedowns, there was nothing else happening in the fight but striking. But also what Jace was saying when I was watching it wasn't a high stylization from Max that we're used to seeing, but which it was fine. It was a different type of fight that he wanted to fight this fight, you know. And Arnold Allen did bang him a couple times with some hard ass shots. I was cringing. I was like, the Max. I was like, I was moving my head for him. But you know, exciting fight, good fight, technical fight. Shout out to Double A, man. He's gonna be good. He's gonna do good things in the octagon.
Yeah,
I enjoyed the fight.
When I was after Jason and I had talked about the fight, and one thing that I did say to Jace was that like I wish Max would start because he throws the oblique kick quite often. Like he started doing that with Volkanovski a little bit more, but like I wish that he'd throw it the way Khalil Roundtree throws it. Throw it to tear their knee into pieces. Like he was more so like you said, doing it to stop them, using it as a range check, and stopping Arnold's momentum. But like you throw that bitch like the way Khalil Roundtree did, looking to do some damage. That's gonna stop somebody from trying to come and walk you down. And make no mistake, I'm definitely not saying that Arnold didn't look good. This was a great performance by Arnold Allen. Arnold looked great. Arnold showed that he's top 5. Arnold, you know, potentially in the future could come back, have a better game plan, and beat Max. I'm not saying that Max Holloway washed him and dominated him. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that it was a clear win, in my opinion, for Max Holloway. There was never a point in time to where I thought, oh, Arnold is winning this fight. I thought I gave Arnold Allen the second round because of the first minute and a half. He cracked him with 3 hard overhand lefts.
Big ones.
Just like his coach said.
Just like he said in the corner, yeah.
Yeah, just like his coach had told him. And so, there was that. There was, I think, like maybe in the 4th, there was like 2 head kicks that Max still blocked, but you heard it. It was like, pow. I was like, oh, shit. He's coming for you. The 5th round, I would give it to him, sure. Like, if I absolutely had to, I would give it to him. Him getting knocked down at the end means something to me. And the only reason why I say that is if you go back to Brandon Moreno versus Davison Figueiredo, round number, it's either 3 or 5. Brandon is winning the whole round, right?
And
Brandon gets dropped with 5 seconds left. And they gave that round to Davison because Davison dropped him, even though Brandon had one of his best rounds. This is in the second fight between them. Go back and watch that round. And they gave it to Davison because Davison dropped him. And so when people are like, oh, well, how do you win a whole round and then you get dropped? I'm just saying we pick and choose how this is being judged. Go ahead, Jace. What are you laughing about?
I'm just you know because you be so in your feelings and like your intensity, your words come faster anytime Max Holloway is the subject. So that's why like I said my piece and I'm Gucci with it because I know like there's nothing I'm gonna say to you that's gonna convince you otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Because you be like hey, you got the juice. You got the juice.
But what do I be saying? If there's time on the clock, you can get rocked. There was still time on the clock while he got dropped. He got dropped. He rocked his ass. So it should count as a knockdown.
That's the thing too, is that I don't feel like I feel like people look at significant strikes versus regular strikes, but people don't give credit to when somebody is rocked, and I mean clearly rocked, where they on the stanky leg a little bit. You know what I mean? That right there, if I was a judge, I would say, oh shit, he on the way to take this round.
Yep.
And then he drops him. That's in the books right there. He won that round. Especially if they're both striking and it's a competitive striking round. I'm gonna give it to the nigga who got the rock and the drop every time. I don't care. I don't care who it is. I don't care how biased I am. I'm gonna be like, oh damn, my boy done lost the round. He got rocked hard at the end of the round. You know what I mean? In a close striking match, right?
Because you can go back to Korean Zombie versus Yair. Literally 1 second on the clock. He knocked his ass out. So that should count. What was on the clock? It was like 10 seconds when they started throwing. He dropped him with like 5 seconds left. So count that shit. Like
2 seconds.
Because he got right back up and it was like, burp. Yeah, you're right. So the best is blessed, baby.
But yeah, that was a great
Right.
fight.
Just so
That
everybody
was good
knows,
competition.
Jace has lived with me his whole life. I only act like this because of him.
Oh, I can see. I can see.
We're
Okay.
literally the same. Like, we,
Blame the black guy. Real original. I never heard that before.
oh, oh man. Yeah, I thought it was a good card, good showing by Max. Do you guys want to see Max against Korean Zombie?
Korean Zombie, nah.
Why did you?
No, but yeah, because if they're not gonna give him nobody else, maybe Korean Zombie retires after that. He said he always wanted to fight him. And I seen something Max was like, we came up at the same time. Why haven't we never fought? It would have been better in their prime, but I guess that's a fight that he might have to take, if he's not gonna get a shot at the belt.
He
I
won't.
feel like it's a fun fight. It's a fun fight to watch, but I don't think it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even
Uh,
think it's a fun fight unless you're a Max Holloway fan.
Hey, Korean Zombie got hands. I gotta give
He
Korean Zombie
used
some
to,
hands.
but now he slows molasses.
He's slow, yeah. You're right,
or
Jace.
either Volkanovski is just fast as fuck. Because I
Which
made
he
the
is.
mistake. I made the mistake when I seen that fight. When I seen Volk and
Zombie.
Korean Zombie fight. Remember, like I talked to Jace this before we had a podcast, and I was like, man, of course, well, we already knew that he was going to beat the Zombie, right? But I didn't give Volk the credit for how fast he leveled up in that fight and how fast he was. And then when he put it on Max in the following fight, I was like, oh, this isn't the opponents. This is Volkanovski, right? So Max might get inside there with them. I think Max will still be faster and better. I think it'll be
Yeah,
a very
it'd be a fun
non-competitive,
fight.
yeah, it'll be a fight that I would like as a Max Holloway fan.
Yeah,
But who knows? Zombie, he's taking time off. It's been over a year now, But the problem is, like, once a fighter starts talking about, retiring and stuff, and then you try to get that last fight in,
yeah.
like, it usually doesn't go well for you.
Yeah.
But Zombie
And
got good jujitsu, don't he? Isn't he like
I mean,
tier
he hit
one
the twister,
jujitsu?
but I don't know if
yeah,
he ain't gonna do nothing crazy against
yeah.
Max.
And you got to
Mm.
consider that, like, Max Holloway has the highest takedown defense in the division of 84%. It's not that easy to, go inside there, take him down, and hold him down. But for Arnold Allen, like, what would we like to see next from Arnold, right? Because realistically, especially with, Max still being in that division, if Arnold goes and say he fights, Giga or something, because Giga doesn't have a fight lined up, and he beats Giga, right? And say Volkanovski beats Yair, he'd probably still get the title shot, right? Because we've seen, just like with Yair, if you can get one more fight, even though you lost to Max, you can still potentially, like, who would y'all like to see him fight?
What's Giga at right now? Like 6,
8.
7, 8?
Who cares about the rankings?
Yeah, they don't matter.
Yeah. But people try to be like, "Hey, man, you fighting way back here. What's the point?" Like, shit, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, everyone
Mm.
else is booked, right? So
Because you
Josh
got
Emmett,
Josh Emmett has
Ilya,
Taporia.
yeah, Calvin
Ortega's
Cater.
out.
Yeah, Ortega's out. Cater's out. Zombie might be fighting Max. Yeah, and then what's his name? Evolov.
Oh, but he's fighting Bryce
Yeah, he's
Mitchell
fighting Bryce. Arnold's already
this
fought
week.
Sadiq. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I think Giga, if he's okay,
That'd probably be a fun. What's Allen right now? 4.
yeah, he's ranked 4.
Hey, Giga go in there and beat him. He jumps his ass. So that'll be a good fight for Giga.
Yeah, and these were updated today. So yeah, like I said, it'd be good. I'd really like it if
Yeah,
we could see Josh fight the winner of Josh versus Ilya. Like, to see Ilya and Arnold, I think that would be a good banger too. But I think they probably want to get him on that London card, because I mean, he didn't take, like, to my knowledge, Arnold Allen isn't hurt.
Yeah.
he
Nobody,
got hurt.
What you were
He
shaking your
got
head
beat the
about that
hell
one,
up.
Jace?
nobody want to see Ilya. Nobody want to
Yeah.
fight that man. Nobody want to fight that man.
Josh Emmett.
Josh Emmett is about to get fucked up. Bet the house special. That's a free pick. Bet the house.
Yep. What card did they have them on? Aren't they headlining their own?
No, they're the undercard.
Oh, okay. Well, we look
Josh
forward to
Emmett and
seeing
Ilya. You mean co-main event or on the undercard?
what they co-main and
I was talking about we were talking about Bryce, right?
no,
Oh,
Ilya.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
I
should be
think
the
they're like
main.
June, like something. We'll see.
murder
see.
that man.
Yeah. This weekend we do have your boy Curtis Blaydes taking on Sergei Pavlovich. How y'all think that's gonna go?
The White Russian.
Hey, the White
Yeah,
Francis.
I got Russian. I got Russian.
Comrade.
I did see. What about you, CJ?
Come on, man. You gonna ask me that question? I've been getting on.
Rain.
I've been getting on TikTok. I don't give a fuck. I'm going for Curtis Blaydes, bro.
Fuck
Oh
him.
my god.
It's
Why
horrific.
y'all? Why you hate Blade so much?
He hate Curtis Blaydes because when we did the overrated or
know.
not, he was shitting on him.
Blade hate himself, man. Come on, stop playing.
That's fucked up, bro.
Selfishly, I don't know what's recently happened, but like I've just been going for the person that people hate the most. Like I really want Curtis Blaydes. I don't think he will win, but I want him to win just because people
don't
hate
think
him
so
so
either.
much.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So now who's the antagonist over here? Wait a second now. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay.
I'm just saying.
Shout
I'm
out
just
Killer
saying.
Cam. Shout out Killer Cam.
Your boy
Sergey's
Brad,
good, man.
He
Sergey's
is.
good. He got power. He's fast as hell. I think he's going to win, but I will be rooting for Curtis Blaydes.
Your boy Brad Tavares is
Fuck
back.
with that nigga. Fuck with that nigga.
So look, this is an important fight. So from last week when we were talking about Dricus Duplessis,
Ugh.
both of that Brad Tavares and he's fighting Bruno Silva. So that's a dictator to see how sorry both of them is, you know?
Nah, Brad Tavares is just the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
Hey, he really is.
But that might bump up Dricus Duplessis to get a shot to be like, hey, I beat Brad Tavares. Brad Tavares just beat Bruno Silva. Bruno Silva gave Alex a good fight. So you know how it goes.
Then shout out to Bobby Green. See him
Yes.
style on Jared Gordon real fast. Talk that
I'm
shit.
excited for that fight, man. I love me some
yeah.
Bobby Green.
Hey, this Jasmine
too.
chick. This is the chick from San Diego, the Brazilian chick that won, that banged it out with the other Mexican chick. They were both Jasmine's, remember, on the card.
Oh yeah. Jasmine Yagiri.
Yes. So watch out for this fight because she was banging. Brogan
Banger,
Walker
bro.
is coming off of Tough.
Yep, she lost to Juju.
Yeah,
She's
she's more
about to
of a-
come off another loss.
Hey. Besides that, I mean, we not about to go. Oh, your boy Usman, Big Usman, big baby Usman is on the card.
Fighting Tafa.
Oh man, aka Kamaru Usman's big little brother. So I'm sure that Usman will be in the building.
No, I'm not really worried about it. Like the card on paper looks whack. I mean, let's be honest. Which
Oh,
means
yeah.
there's probably going to be some bangers. Which means
Yeah.
we'll talk about it next week. Which means let's get to these hot takes.
Before we get to the hot takes real quick, this weekend, now typically we don't talk about boxing, but when it's like real boxing, not like, a big name boxer fighting somebody that nobody cares about, this weekend, Gervontae Tank Davis is taking on Ryan Garcia. I am ecstatic for this. I'm like, I cannot fucking wait. I'll absolutely be watching it. How are you guys feeling about it?
This is my second largest boner of the year.
Whoa. TMI.
You see the thing. Yeah, besides Volkanovski and Islam, this is so far the second fight that I'm excited for the most of the year. And Ryan Speed Hands Garcia is going to put it on this nigga, and I can't wait.
Devil's advocate, always.
Hey man, your brother be tripping,
No,
bro.
he
Wait,
legit.
knowing.
Wait. You
Knowing.
said he's going for the Mexican this time, CJ.
Viva la
But
Mexico.
what is he?
Filipino and black.
Oh, now. I'm fucking with Tank. I ain't gonna lie. I haven't. Oh, did my mic go off? I haven't been paying attention to boxing like that. I'm gonna be a boxing casual since MMA came around. I put boxing on the back burner, but I'm gonna tune in. There's a lot of MMA going on this weekend too. Bellator's coming on, UFC's coming on, so I will catch the boxing match at the end of all of that other shit. I will casually watch. So I'm gonna be going for Tank. If you lose, I don't give a fuck. Talk to your mama.
Real quick side note, and shout out to Team Light Skin over here. This is not an antagonist right here. I really believe in it. Sky, I've told you this since this fight was made. That I fuck with Ryan Garcia. Choo. That nigga got hand now to break down the fight quickly. It's speed versus power. Tank is going in there trying to club his ass, and Ryan is just trying to pop. Yeah, and I think Ryan's gonna bang him out, bro. Gonna bang him out. And on a side note, I really don't like Tank as a human. So yes, I'm going to fuck with Ryan Garcia.
Dang, you want to elaborate on the Tank shots?
Hold on.
I'll let his rap sheet speak for itself. Damien, come on, Team Light Skin. What you got for you, Team Yellow Man?
Yeah, man. And I just came from the island.
Yes, Wagwan.
Hey, I don't watch a lot of boxing. I'm gonna be real, all right? So this is just my opinion. But when I do watch boxing, I'll be watching the fighters like Tank Davis. You feel me? Like Ryan Garcia, right? Because they kind of brought the excitement back for me, right? Now, I follow both of these guys. I watch their social media. I watch their training videos. And I like Ryan Garcia a lot. And I also like Gervontae Davis a lot. However, I see Gervontae winning this fight because he doesn't rely on just speed, which he has. He's not as fast as Ryan Garcia, but the nigga is quick, and he be countering. Power counters. He ain't
Shout out to Rolly Romero.
As quick. He bruh, I'm telling you.
But also though, right? He's coming up in weight. Right. So as we've seen, even so just to let everyone on the pod know, I started off as a boxing purist. Okay. Shout out to my favorite fighter of all time, Viva el Mexico. Viva la Mexico. Viva da Mexico. CJ, speak on it.
Viva Mexico.
There's nothing.
Nah, Viva Mexico.
Julio Cesar Chavez is my favorite boxer of all time. The body puncher king. So I grew up on boxing. I'm a boxing purist who then transferred over to MMA because a lot of boxing fans just get tired of the bullshit. People scared to throw hands. People scared to fight each other. Oh, wait, what was that? Okay. Okay. Sorry, I was just seeing who entered the chat. Fucking Crawford, T-Bud Crawford, Earl Spence just entered the chat. Right, give us what we want, and shout out to Garcia and Davis because beyond whoever wins this fight for just putting it on the fucking line to give the fans what they want, and so that's what I really honestly care about. But Ryan gonna get him out of there, you heard?
But I think you're right about that, Jace. I think it's that Mayweather effect where nobody wants to lose anymore. So you get in MMA, you catch an L, it's fine. You can still climb back up, but it's that Mayweather effect, that undefeated shit. It holds too much weight right now in boxing, and that shit kind of sucks. Everybody needs to fight everybody. The fans want to see the best fight the best.
And that's what, they had in the 80s and the early 90s. People catch 2 or 3 losses, 4 losses on the record. You don't have to fucking cancel Christmas. It's okay.
Yeah.
Baby boy still coming home.
But back then, it was no shame because you're fighting fucking Marvin Hagler and people like that, like Tommy Hearns. Ain't no shame in losing to those kind of guys. So you're 1,000% right, man.
But Tank is with TMT, and you see that this nigga there to knock you out. This nigga is there to fight you. So man,
I'm just saying he going up in weight.
I'm tuning in. Isn't
it at 35?
He going out the mouth.
It's at 35. They're making Garcia come down and put a rehydration clause in there.
Garcia gonna put it on him.
I love Tank. Tank and Tyson Fury are the only reason why. The only 2 fighters I watch boxing for. I will not miss a Tank Davis fight. I have not ever tuned in to see Ryan Garcia fight. I'm going with Tank. But I have seen Ryan Garcia's highlights, and I like him. I've seen him on Instagram and stuff like that. But I just like Tank. There's something about him. But it's gonna be scary. Once again, we're dealing with somebody who's fast and has a nasty left hook, right? Just like shout out to Alex Pereira. You know what I mean? I'm excited for the fight. Like I'm gonna be sleep. I'm gonna be watching it. I'm gonna be clinched the whole time, just waiting to see what happens because somebody's going to sleep.
Wait a second. While you're clenched, can you make me a pearl, please?
That's a good one. That's a good one. And with that, we're gonna jump into a hot take. First one: Valentina is starting to decline. The fight against Taya Santos was a warning. The last one against Grasso showed a downfall of her Muay Thai skills. We're gonna start with your boy CJ because that's House Shevchenko.
Is she declining? I don't think she's declining. I think she's just getting older. She's fighting all the best. When you fight all the best, you're a champion for so long. You know, it's about time. The time is gonna come where you slow down slightly, not decline, because she was winning the fights until you weren't. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think she's declining. I think she'll go back and win the belt back.
What you got, Damien?
I would kind of, and I love Shevchenko, but I think I kind of gotta disagree. I think we love these fighters so much, and we put so much respect on them, and afraid to call it out for what it is. And watching that last fight, she didn't look like Shevchenko. That wasn't Shevchenko that I was watching fighting. I don't know what it is, and it hurt me because I really wanted her to win. And I think getting these losses is kind of gonna chip away at her slowly. So she's not gonna be as confident the next time. She's gonna be a little more on the back foot again, trying to counter, but striking that air. I would say that I think she kind of is unfortunately on the decline because we got to also remember the new generation fighters are getting more skilled. They're getting more skilled. They're training with people in the gym that emulate Shevchenko. Hell, they looked up to Shevchenko, probably watched her fighting and striking, as they're making their way up the rankings. So yeah, unfortunately I gotta go with the latter of the group and say that she kinda is declining.
I'll keep it short and sweet. I don't think she's declining at all. I think the parable I'll use is Team USA basketball. Back in '92, they're literally beating motherfuckers by 100 points, right? But the curve is just going up, So it's not her declining. It's just the curve is just leveling out. You know what I'm saying? So now when the USA goes to the Olympic basketball, yeah, they still getting dubs, you know what I mean? But they be losing and they be close games. They ain't blowing people out by 100 no more. So I don't think it has anything to do with her declining. I just think everyone else is stepping up their game. The evolution. That's it.
As they should, as they should. You're right.
I think you guys both made some really good points. It's hard for me to say because the competition is getting better across the board for all mixed martial arts, men and women. Like the competition's just getting better. Like, and I hate to bring in Max real fast, but like I seen that someone had put on there, leave me alone. I seen somebody had put on there that, that the gap was closing, that, you know what I mean? That like, yeah, Max is still better than them, but that gap that he had before is closing. And I'm like, rightfully so. These people, Shevchenko, Max Holloway, like these champions have footage on them. Like, so much footage on them. These up and comers have been watching them. They know their whole game plan. That's why Grasso knew that she was going to go for that spinning back kick, and that's why they planned that, to take advantage of that. But one thing also that I really like that Damien said, which was, it is hard for us to see the decline. Like with Tony, it was instant almost because Justin Gaethje killed him. But for like me. Like, it would be really hard for me to see, somebody that I really, really am rooting for to decline. Shevchenko's 35 years old. But I feel like women age, like they fight at a higher age, fight up to a higher age anyways, and can still be really good. Mm-hmm. I'm not ready to say that she's declining, just probably because like you said, Damien, I might not be able to like admit that or see that. And I don't think she's declining. I think I do think that like the competition is just getting better, and so it's becoming competitive, exactly like it should have been for a long period of time. Because so many people were saying, you know, like, oh, that women's MMA was boring and stuff like that, and then you had Shevchenko, who was just running through the division, like you knew it wasn't going to be competitive, and now it's becoming competitive, and so maybe we're thinking she's declining, but really the competition getting better. I don't know, but the next hot take is Cody Garbrandt can return to his best self. We're gonna start with Jace on that one because he loves no love. He loves no love.
Fuck you. Best self. I don't know about best self, but you know, because I'm thinking of like Jose Aldo. You know, Jose Aldo definitely, you know, after a couple of losses came back and reemerged. Was he that killer from the WEC? No, but was he still like a motherfucker you don't want to play with? For sure. Can Cody still be a motherfucker? Absolutely. His only problem is he's getting caught. You know what I mean? Like power is still there. His only problem is, you know, his chin is just not at the same level it used to be. That's all I got to say. Keep it quick. Keep it quick.
Mm-hmm. I don't even think it's his chin. I think it's his defense. Because he be getting tagged, like, pretty hard, you know. And when we were watching him fight Dominic Cruz and people like that, he was slick with his movement and stuff. And all of a sudden, he getting caught. And it seems like they're not even, like, crazy combinations or anything either. They're just catching him right on the button. Like, I don't understand it, but I don't think he's going to come back. Even in that last fight, he was putting it on, old boy. I don't even remember who he was fighting, but as soon, and old boy threw like no strikes. This man threw no strikes. In the last round, towards the end of the round, when he finally started going, Cody was getting tagged and he was getting hurt. I was like, what the hell's going on? So I'm gonna say he fights Dominic Cruz again, he gonna lose. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like I don't think he can get back to where he was, but I think it's more of a mental thing, not his skill thing. I think he's fighting a little bit too cautious now to not get knocked out, as you should. You don't want to get fucking knocked out, but I think it's in his mind, so he's fighting a lot more cautious. So he's not gonna go in there and mix it up as he used to do. So I don't think he will be able to get back to the old Cody Garbrandt that he was. Of course he can't, but shout out to No Love.
Shout out to No Love, though. I used to love Cody Garbrandt. I mean, I still do. I still always tune into his fights, but
yeah,
when he was at the top, I was on the Cody Garbrandt train. I wanted that man to win at all costs.
And now he ain't on the top, so now you off the train. Okay, you fair weather fan. I know what's up with you yellow skinned people.
I'm out of there.
I don't see him returning back to his glory day, if you say, because after Dominic, you know, it was kind of just all downhill from there. Speaking of Cody Garbrandt, real quick, the last hot take of the day will be I don't know, the Southern jumped in me real fast. Robert Whittaker is overrated because he only had one title defense.
Come on, Damien.
Nah, Robert Whittaker is the gatekeeper. All right, that's like the poster child for a gatekeeper. If I do say so myself, that man's a killer, and when he's proved it over and over again, he's not fighting no scrubs in the.
So we lost Damien. His laptop died. But go ahead and jump in, CJ.
Is Robert Whittaker overrated because he has one title defense? No. It's hard enough to just get to a title shot. It's even harder to win the belt. It's hard enough to stay at, where is he at right now? Number 1 in the division. So, no, he's not overrated. The only person that beats him is the best at that division anyway. So, no, he's not overrated. Is Conor McGregor overrated? Your man ain't never defended.
Good
so
point.
No, and I'm not even a Robert Whittaker fan, but I do appreciate his skills. He is not overrated. He is a good fighter.
I will say that Robert Whittaker is 100% not overrated. He's just unfortunately kind of like almost in that shout out to Kobe Chaos. He's just the second best middleweight on the planet. You know, he beats everyone else, but is he? Everyone else he beats, and he's proven it. So I don't think he's overrated in any capacity. Keep it short and sweet.
All right, yeah. So I didn't hear what y'all said, so my bad. Oh, that's unfortunate. I was finna go in, but yeah, I was saying 100%. Robert Whittaker is not overrated at all. He's the poster child for a gatekeeper before a reason, because I could even see him beating Piera. And I feel like a lot of people wouldn't say that, but I feel like I could see him getting it done against Piera. And that's because Robert Whittaker really is that nigga. It just is unfortunate that there's someone, I won't even say slightly better. I mean, he was reading them like a textbook, but man, yeah, Robert Whittaker is not underrated. He's actually or overrated. He's actually one of my favorite fighters on the UFC roster. To
Real
be frank
quick,
with you,
I agree with you guys. I don't think he's overrated. One quick question: how would you guys feel about Dricus du Plessis against Robert Whittaker for the #1 contender?
No,
No.
only because I don't
I'd
want to
watch
see
it.
him fight Izzy. I don't want to see Whittaker fight Izzy again.
I wish
Really?
we could see. Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Why don't you want to see them fight again?
I know how that story ends. Shout out to Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. I know
I
how that
thought
story ends.
I thought the second fight was extremely. I scored it for Whittaker, honestly.
So like we gotta stop writing books and you say you know how the story ends because you said you knew how that story was gonna end with Alex Pereira and it didn't end the way that you thought it was gonna be written. So shit can change. I tell people all the time. In life, shit changes for a reason. He's not going to beat him, but there's always a fucking possibility that he can. That's all I gotta say. But back to you, what you was gonna say, Sky. I don't mind it if he fights Dricus and he beats Dricus and let Robert get another shot. Because who he gonna fight? Who else he gonna fight?
Sean Strickland. It's only Sean Strickland and Dricus.
That's
Outside of
it.
that, he beat
You know what?
everybody.
My thing is just go ahead and feed him them two. Let him beat them two. Then he really cleans out the division, and then we can run it, recycle it again. I don't like. Why not? Let him be great.
But
I
you
say
know what
run.
will happen is then they'll start picking apart Izzy's records. That's because like he's fighting everybody he can. But what will happen is they'll start being like, oh well, look at his title defenses. He fought Dricus.
Yeah,
He can only
yeah.
fight who's in his division, who they putting up next to him. Like he has no control over that. Like 185 is the worst fucking division.
They
Hey,
damn sure ain't gonna put
185ers
Sean
get
Strickland
better.
in there.
185ers get better, y'all. That's it.
Hey.
Hey,
Facts.
I would like to see Alex versus Robert though, man. And I know he's finna move up, but
Yeah.
because like what else could he do? He was already the champion. You know, he don't need to do that again. He
Immediate
probably don't want to
title.
cut the weight. But man, I would love that fight. That would be the people's the people's championship type fight right there. Who could be the real gatekeeper? Robert Whittaker or Alex Pereira?
And one,
I was gonna say on a real quick side note. Damien, me and you, my man, we got different definitions of gatekeepers.
let's talk about that. That's been a thing going on. Like, what is a gatekeeper?
Brad Tavares,
Okay.
someone who is. We kind of talked about this a little bit, and I'll be
We're
keep it
talking about
short.
journeyman.
Yeah, well, no, I don't think he's a journeyman. I think he's a gatekeeper.
No.
You know,
I'm sorry. Who we talking about? Jorge?
no. We're not
Brad Tavares.
Brad
Brad.
Tavares.
Yeah.
So here's, and I'll keep it short because I know we're short on time. When I think about gatekeeper, I think of him. I think about RDA. You know, and this is someone who is a tough fight, a tough night out. You know what I mean? Who is probably going to win two, lose one, win two, lose one. The record looks great. It's a guy who you're going to be in a fucking scrap against. You know what I mean? Who might not actually, be that over the top superstar, right? But he's a dog. You know what I mean? He's going to test you. So RDA is literally known as a gatekeeper. I think Brad Tavares is literally known as a gatekeeper. I'm trying to think. Fucking Neil Magny is known as a fucking gatekeeper.
I agree 100% with what Jace just said. I never like when people use the word gatekeeper to describe, first of all, former champions. I would,
No, exactly.
I don't call Robert, I don't call Robert and Max Holloway gatekeepers because they are former champions. I don't put Robert and Max in the same category as Dustin Poirier and Kobe Covington because they were never undisputed champions. They were interim champs. But yeah, I agree that like a gatekeeper to me is exactly like the first person I think of is RDA. You hear
He's a champ
Dana.
though.
That's true. That's true. But the only reason why I say it for this is because Dana White always says that he said it. Like if you can beat RDA,
You can step up.
you can step up and really be a champion. So for me, that's where like that comes from. Yeah.
A gatekeeper to me is someone that's at the top of the division for a long time, and I'm talking about the top, who either was champion or is in the number 1 or 2 seed, but beats everyone below them. Nobody is getting above them on the numbers, right? Nobody's getting ranked above them. So I'm thinking of people like Dustin Poirier. I'm thinking of people like Robert Whittaker
Hot
because
take.
we've seen them defend themselves against the up and comers every time. We'll give them a hype train and they'll derail it. You feel me? Because it's like, hey, this is
They don't let
you
him
up
in.
here. Yeah, you up here with the top tier dogs, right?
Mhm.
And I've had a shot at that goal, but guess what? You ain't gonna get that shot because I'm gonna get it again. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep shooting for that goal until I fuck around and retire because I can't ever beat that person. And now we have at least I at least have 2 fights with the champion already. Working on a third. That's a gatekeeper to me.
What about you, CJ?
How you hating from the outside? You can't even get in. I see Damien's point as well, but
Yeah, I do.
if you're to me, if you're a champion, you're never gonna be a fucking gatekeeper in my book. And I also agree with how Jace was saying it. There's those guys that are like in that 10 to 11 to the 12 realm where there's a hot guy coming in. There's fucking they're rolling on a train, and you got to beat this person. Then you might start rolling into to better rankings. But I also kind of agree with Damien saying that if you're like you said, Dustin Poirier, he's never been a solidified undisputed champ. But every time somebody comes in, they beat him, and they can't get past Dustin. You ain't never gonna get a shot at the belt. So I agree with both of y'all. Shit, I
Yeah.
kind of agree with both of y'all.
Yeah.
It's a weird saying. A weird saying.
When Damien made his point, I'm like, I mean, yeah, that kind of it makes 100% to me. But you guys make sure that you comment below. What's your definition of a gatekeeper? What's your definition of a journeyman? Maybe we just, as a group, need to come up with a new name to give these people.
One more thing. So the reason why I say the people at the top are the gatekeepers, regardless if you're a champion or not, is because there's only like one person that's better than you. When I'm looking at people trying to enter the rankings and they have to face, number 10 to get in the top 10, that's not really a gatekeeper to me because they could already have a fight matched up with somebody else. So now you happen to fight number 9 to get in and you beat number 9. You can't, that's not a gatekeeper, you know what I mean? Because you passing it even without going through that certain person. When you're at the top, like Dustin Poirier, number 2 position, or Charles Oliveira, number 1 position, you can't go above that. No matter how hard you try, you could beat number 4 10 times in a row. You ain't getting the number 3, number 2, number 1 spot, or you know what I mean, number 2, number 1 champion spot. Yeah. That's why I say they're gatekeepers, regardless if you're a champion or not.
Yeah,
because obviously we give respect to champions. We love the champions. If you made it, you a champ for life. But in the aspect of like Robert Whittaker, he a gatekeeper. That's just what it is. He can't beat the champ. But he's at that caliber and at that level where there's such a gap below them that nobody could surpass that. So he's keeping he's stopping other people from getting a title shot pretty much.
It's like they gotta go through him. If you could beat Rob, you can get a shot at the belt. Most of the times y'all ain't gonna be able to beat him, so you gotta stay right there, Rob.
Yeah,
hold the fort. Hold the fort, bro.
Hold it down. Hey, your boy Robert Whittaker was on Ariel's show on Monday and was saying that, hey, he's planting his fucking flag. he's staying at 185, and he wants another crack at Izzy. And he's like,
As he should.
it took Israel
deserves
4
it,
times
yeah.
to beat Pereira. It's only going to take me 3. He fully believes that having that second fight really boosts his confidence, because he was like, going into the second fight, there still was that doubt of, can he knock me out again? He was like, and then once he got knocked down in the first round, he was like, in the second round, he realized it's not going to go down like it did before. And he was like, and now that I've had that experience and that level within me where I know that my defense and everything is good enough to where I'm not going to get knocked out, he's like, the next time I can fight my fight and mix it up. And I don't know why, but I'm just rooting for Rob. I mean, just the same way I was rooting for Izzy to beat Pereira because of just beating that person who always beats you. It's like, but at the same time, I don't want Izzy to lose. So
Sky,
I don't know.
come in here with that bullshit. You did that shit last time, Sky, and I blamed it on you. Watch them words.
I feel you. I respect that. I'll be the same way, because you love both, and you want to see the other person win, because he had already won. He already had it. You know what I mean? Izzy already has his shine and stuff. Like, let me see Rob get it back.
Rob had it too. That nigga don't need to touch it no more.
But to get it back in the fashion that Israel did, like, that'd be nice. That'd be fucking crazy, honestly.
Yeah,
everybody got to slay their demons sometimes, you know.
Right? Yeah, exactly. But that is a wrap for us. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know down below what you're thinking. We will be back next Wednesday. We are back, and peace.
Ryan,